Good. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming. I'm Dr. Cliff Smyth from the College of Integrative Medicine and Health Sciences at Saybrook University. So, making yourself comfortable as you sit or stand or even lie there, and making yourself more comfortable, adjust as you want to. Stillness is important in meditation practice, but so is comfort. It's often the compassionate thing to do to make yourself more comfortable. And you might notice right away that we have this bodily intelligence that guides us in knowing what is more comfortable. Make any movements that you want to or need to make to help you settle and be more comfortable. And taking a few moments to notice your breathing, to notice that you are breathing and feeling into the experience of breathing for you right now. And now bring your attention to your eyes and particularly your eyelids. They gently rest against your eyes. They touch your eyes, and when they close, the upper and lower lids touch. So a few times now, whether you start with your eyes open or closed, just very lightly and very slowly open and close your eyes. Don't do anything that's wide or strong. Very gently, just the small movements of opening and closing. And feel if you can get some sense of the touch of your eyelids, the inside of your eyelids. Just a few times, very lightly, very small, very slowly, opening and closing the eyes. And then with your eyes closed, use the eyelids and the muscles around the eyes just to very gently press and unpress a little, a very little bit, just to help you notice. As you gently press and unpress with the eyelids and the muscles around the eyes, what's the sense of touching there? And then you can rest with your eyes open or closed, but bringing your attention to the sensitive possibilities of the eyelids touching the eyes. And if your eyes are closed, the upper and lower lids touching each other. Staying with this most gentle of the ways in which we touch ourselves. And then there are other places too where we often touch ourselves. Are your hands resting somewhere on your thigh, in your lap, or touching your abdomen, or touching each other? Or you could bring your hands somewhere where they're comfortably in touch with your thighs, or your abdomen, or one hand with the other. And begin to sense the places in your body where the hands are touching. Sensing the details, the pressure on the thighs, or the abdomen, or the other hand. And of course, if you're touching one hand with the other, you'll need to decide which hand is the actively touching hand and which is the receiving hand. And now just listening to what you can feel, the shape and the size of the areas that are touched with this hand. Bring your attention there without judgment, just feeling. Shape, pressure, temperature. And taking comfort, if you can, from this touching. Just listening to yourself and where you meet yourself through this hand. Listening to where you're touching with this hand. And at some point, I invite you to feel if it's possible to switch the direction of the touch, to use the thigh or the abdomen or the other hand to touch the originally touching hand. What does that hand feel like? We mostly use the hands as our feelers, but can you feel that hand now? The shape of the hand and the fingers, the back and the palm. Maybe getting some sense of the density and the skin and the bones. Feeling this hand with the thigh or the abdomen or the other hand. Sensing again what can be sensed, shape, pressures, temperatures. And shifting your attention now from the hands to places where your body is supported by the chair or the floor. What's the pressure on your feet if you're sitting, or your legs if you're lying? All the different parts of your feet and legs, sensing the pressure there, the contact there. And if you're wearing socks or shoes, you might start to get a sense of the touch of those as well. Or a blanket, if you have a blanket around your legs. So often the touch of our clothing simply disappears into the background, simply gets incorporated into our bodily selves. Is it possible to bring forth the sense of the touch of socks or shoes? And letting your attention linger on the touch at the feet, of the legs, and then bring your attention up to the points of contact, the places of contact of your body with the chair or the floor or the bed if you're lying. Feeling the back surfaces, the underneath surfaces of your body, the pelvis and your back and shoulders and arms if you're sitting, wherever your body touches if you're lying, and just bring your attention into those places of support. And you might make some small movements of the body, side to side a little bit. If you're sitting, maybe a little forward and back with the pelvis, with the torso. And just finding out what some small, very gentle movements might tell you about the contact. And then coming to stillness again and bathing the parts of you that are in contact with the chair, with the floor, whatever's supporting you. Bathing them with awareness. And we can sense a touch of clothing in other places, on your legs, on your torso, your chest, your sides, your back, your shoulders and arms. If you let your attention wander around the body, are there places where the touch of the clothing is more clear, where you can feel some pulls or some textures, or maybe there's a different temperature where your clothing is in touch with your skin. And movement can help us feel again. So one place you might bring your attention is anywhere that you move as you breathe. Is there any little pulls or pressures at the skin of your clothing in the chest or the abdomen as you breathe? Gently bring your attention to wherever you feel the touch of the clothing, and as you want to, you might let your attention wander in this rich world of touching of the skin. And of course, there may be some places where the skin is not touching clothing. You might bring attention to those places, often the hands, the wrists, the face, and the head and the neck. Can you sense the temperature of the air in those places? The light touch of the air. You might gently move your hand or hands or your arm and feel the touch of the air as your hands move through the air. You might turn your head a little bit and just noticing, again, using movement, which is a friend of touch, to help you sense the touch of the air, the soft touch of the air, if it's possible. Good. And then, of course, we can direct our touch. So I invite you now, if it's comfortable, to bring your hand to the middle of your chest, one hand or both hands, the area in front of the heart, and gently shape the hand to the surface of your chest, feeling the shape there of the breastbone and the ribs, maybe getting some sense of the densities of the flesh and bone there. And letting the presence of your hand send your attention and awareness into the space of your heart. In the 19th century, people talked about body awareness as inner touch, this mind and body capacity to sense inward, to sense inwardly. And you might choose to direct your inner touch somewhere that wants or needs some attention, some place of comfort in the body, of ease and warmth, perhaps, or perhaps some place of discomfort and tightness, restlessness even, that could benefit from the touch of your attention. And letting your attention rest somewhere comfortable, less comfortable, interesting inside your body, using this inner touch to bring awareness and comfort. And then letting go of all this particular inner sensing and sensing at the surface and getting an overall feel of your body inside and the places where your body meets the world, the chair, the air, the clothes. How do you find yourself right now? And then slowly coming back to being aware of being in the room that you're in. If you let your eyes close or the focus soften, let your eyes open and start to perhaps look around. Let your gaze sharpen a little bit and slowly coming back to being present in the room Thank you. And just remembering for yourself and others that people have been in a meditative place and you or others may not feel like talking right now, just listening to what you need and noticing what's happening in our virtual room as we return. Thank you.